In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to run a mobile kids craft club. So let's dive in. Well, hello there. I'm Christelle, co-founder of the Creative Crafting Club, the place to be if you want to start and grow a kids crafting club. Today, we're going to talk about how to run a mobile kids crafting club. We run our classes from our studio plus mobile classes from various venues every day of the week. But it wasn't always like this. When Stefania and I started our Kids Crafting Club, we had this idea that we had to have a Pinterest beautiful studio. We saw beautiful pictures online of gorgeous crafting studio spaces with smiley kids all having a ball, and we thought that that was the only way to do it. We started searching for the perfect studio space. It was actually a bit ridiculous when I think about it now. We looked at line shops in shopping malls and expensive coffee shop type spaces on bustling streets. And we had a property agent assist us in trying to find this dream studio space that did not exist. We then soon realized that all the spaces we liked were just way too expensive, and we started doubting if we could actually turn this dream of ours into a reality. When we were little, my mom used to take my twin brother and I to weekly art lessons at a lady called Auntie Gerda, and we absolutely loved that art class. I had this idea in my head that we had to have a studio like Auntie Gerda's. And today still, if I close my eyes and I think back of my time in her art class, I can still smell the paint. I can hear her encouraging words, and I still get this excited feeling in my heart that anything is possible. Well, the funny thing is, so in conversation with my mom one evening, feeling absolutely deflated and so unmotivated and just down, I was sharing our struggles of trying to find a studio space with her. And I said to her, I want kids to feel like I did when I stepped into Auntie Gerda's art studio. I explained to my mom that Auntie Gerda's studio was probably one of the most magical places I'd ever been. My mom got a big smile on her face, and I said to her, "What are you smiling at, Mom?" So my mom's memory did not serve a magical place. She answered, "Do you remember Aunt Gerda's art studio was in a dilapidated carport with one lonely trestle table in the middle of the room?" I was completely astonished. That's not how I remember it. Well, it goes to show it's amazing how non-judgmental kids can be. I realized for our club, if we created a space where kids can feel safe and inspired and where they can freely create something from nothing, they'll have an awesome time. So after this big mind shift, we started hosting creative crafting classes at a very low-key temporary community venue. They basically gave it to us for free. We got small groups of children along with moms, nannies, and sometimes even dads together once a week. When it picked up, we moved into a studio at a local church, and we also started hosting classes at schools as an extramural activity on a daily basis. Creative crafting classes work very well as an in-school or after-school activity hosted at schools. We then also added restaurants and other venues to our offering for crafty parties and workshops. A church, a restaurant, a library, a community center, or any public venue works well as they usually have a lot of parking space and parents feel safe to drop their kids off as they are usually familiar with the space and the setup. Partnering with your local coffee shop or a kid-friendly restaurant is also an option as it's beneficial for all parties. There are a lot of benefits to running mobile classes. One, you can start today. You don't need a studio. Two, you get to travel around and visit new places and meet new people. Three, it's convenient for your customers. Four, you don't have to worry about paying rent. That's a big one. And then five, you can start with one venue and grow by adding more and more venues to your schedule. Okay, so in today's lesson, I'm going to give you a simple 4-step process to start your mobile craft club. Now, these steps are so simple that you might think it's too easy to work, but I want to challenge you to try it out because it really works. Step 1. Grab a pen and paper and make a list of where kids gather in your area. Think schools, restaurants, churches, clubhouses, etc. You can probably think of about 10 to 20 in your area just off the top of your head. Or if you need some inspiration, you can go to Facebook's search tab. Type in your area, so your town or your city, wherever you want to search, and type in the place that you want to teach. So, for example, a restaurant. Include all the venues that you're willing to drive to, perhaps in half an hour radius or so would work, whatever is convenient for you. Step 2. Send a short and sweet email or message to the person in charge. Keep it short and super simple. Don't give too much info. Don't add the time or the price. Don't overwhelm them. Remember to ask a question at the end. If you ask a question, people will answer it. And if you have one, add a picture of you teaching or a fun pic of the kids crafting and having fun. Remember, keep it short and sweet. People get confused if you give them too much information. So an example script could be, "Hi, my name is Christelle. I teach arts and crafts to kids. I'd love to come teach at your venue. Do you have a time to talk this week? Thanks, Christelle." Or if it's a restaurant, you can say, "Hi, my name is Christelle and I teach arts and crafts to kids. I'd love to come host a workshop for parents and kids at your restaurant on a slow day. Do you have time to talk this week? Thanks." If you're lucky, they will reply, but don't get discouraged if they don't. Fact is that only about 1 out of 10 people will get back to you, so it's a numbers game. And then step 3, follow up 1 week later with a phone call. And then step 4, as soon as someone confirms, go and see them and get them to commit to only one class or workshop. If you ask for too much upfront, it may sound like too much trouble for them. But if you can host a class and make it awesome, it's so much easier to discuss and get them to commit to you hosting weekly or monthly classes at their venue. So to wrap up, let's do a quick recap on the steps. Step 1, make a list. Step 2, reach out. Remember, it's a numbers game. Step 3, follow up. And then step 4, start hosting classes. So there you have it. Here's what I want you to do. Set a challenge for yourself. Contact 5 options every day for 1 week. Give it a go and let me know how it goes in the comments. Until next time, cheers.